What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm down at Benson, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, and we're going to take a look at the 2021 Chrysler Pacifica Pinnacle. Huge shout out to them for providing this minivan for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. They have a huge selection of inventory to choose from. This model here is finished off in velvet red, and it has an MSRP just under $56,000. Let's go ahead and start off today's review by jumping up underneath the hood, where you'll find the 3.6 liter V6 engine. This is paired to the 9-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 287 horsepower around 6,400 RPM and 262 pound-feet of torque around 4,000 RPM. This model is all-wheel drive. It weighs in right around 4,800 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 7 seconds up to its top speed of 109 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 19 gallons, you can expect to see around 17 miles per gallon in the city and 25 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 121.6 inches. Its overall length is 204.3. It has a width of 79.6 inches and a height of 70.7 inches. And with all those specs out of the way, we can go ahead and take a look at the exterior on the Chrysler Pacifica. So I'm going to start up front with this gloss black grille. You'll see it has a really nice design running throughout the mesh with the Chrysler badge right in the center and an integrated forward-facing camera, which is a really nice touch to see. You'll also notice the aluminum finish on the surround of the grille just gives it a great touch against this velvet red. You'll also notice this model comes with LED headlights and DRLs. The DRLs have a really cool design. You'll see they basically surround the headlight, lining the whole outer side of the housing, and then we have the turn signals right in the center. As we work our way to the lower section of the front end, you'll see more of that gloss black along with all the integrated front sensors, and you'll also notice fog lights on both sides with more of that gloss black trim and more of that brush trim that you see from the grille just to tie it in nicely. There's also some really nice contoured lines running along the lower section of the bumper along with right in the center, and then up top you'll see some very clean lines running down the hood. And making your way to the side profile for the Chrysler Pacifica, I'm going to start off with these wheels. They measure 20 by 7.5. They have a two-tone design to them along with a really nice 5-spoke design too. I think that looks really good against the lines and the shapes for the Pacifica. It just matches really nicely. And then working our way up to the side mirrors now, you'll see more of that brush trim. It also surrounds the windows. It's on the Pinnacle badge in the lower section of the door and running along the lower section of the door as well. Matches nicely with this velvet red. But back to the side mirrors, you'll notice that they're power folding, the integrated turn signals in them as well. They're also half body colored, and there's also a camera underneath each one as part of the 3D camera system, which I'll show later in this video. You'll also notice up on the roof, we have the roof rails finished off in that brushed aluminum, and this also features a full moonroof. And then you'll see there's really nice lines that run down the side profile, making it look very proportional and giving it a great look from the side. And now finishing up in the rear, we're gonna start up top with the integrated spoiler. You'll see the third brake light. It's also body colored as well. The rear wiper blade is mounted in the lower section of the glass to help better improve with your rear-facing visibility. This also has a power liftgate. You'll see the standard backup camera right in the center, along with all the integrated parking sensors in the lower section of the bumper. This also has LED taillights. You'll see a really nice connector bar running right through the center just to tie in everything nicely. And then down below, you'll see more of that brushed aluminum, and this has the towing package. It can tow up to 3,600 pounds. So now, before we go ahead and take a look at the interior on the Chrysler Pacifica, this model has remote start. So if I go ahead and lock the vehicle and then double tap this button on the key fob, it will automatically start up, which is a really nice feature to see on the model like this. And then if you double tap that button again, you can shut it off if you'd like to. So now with the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket, all I have to do is grab on the door handle and it will automatically unlock. Now we can go ahead and take a look at this beautiful door panel. You'll see tan leather and stitching on the lower section here, and then black leather and more stitching on the upper section. Really nice wood trim piece surrounds the release handle along with the memory seating adjustments. This model also has the 19-speaker Harman Kardon sound system, and you'll see there's a split shelf design for the storage in the door. We have a little bit underneath all of the window controls and the side mirror adjustments, and then some more space in the lower section. And then working our way to the interior, you'll see Pinnacle down on the door sill, and now we can check out these tan leather seats. They have a really nice design to them. They are heated and ventilated. You'll see more of that stitching and piping running down the bolsters. Great design to these seats. And then on the sides, we have all of the automatic controls. And now once inside with my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and start it up. You'll see on the gauge cluster over on the left side is the tach, on the right side is the miles per hour, and then right in the center there's a lot of information that you can go through. There is fixed information. On the left side you can see the engine temperature and the fuel gauge is on the right side, but using buttons on the left side of the steering wheel we can look at a lot more information. So you can pull up the miles per hour, you can go into your vehicle information and look at TPMS and some other vitals that you can pull up, which is really nice to see. You can also scroll down and look at your driver assistance. So when you have the distance pacing on, you can monitor that information. You can also pull up the fuel economy. There's your trip information. There's 2 pages to look at that. Along with your engine start stop feature, you can pull up the audio, any messages that you may have, and then you can go into the screen setup. So you can configure this screen. You can see the compass in the lower left and the outside temperature on the lower right. You can go in here and configure those to what you like to see the most, which is really nice to see. And as we make our way to the steering wheel now, you'll see it's completely covered in leather, along with this really nice brushed aluminum trim piece surrounding the outside of it, and there's even stitching running along the inserts. On the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see all the controls that I was just using, along with Bluetooth and voice commands. Over on the right side, we have all the cruise and adaptive cruise control settings and the distance pacing as well. As we make our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see the headlight and fog light control, along with some dimmer switches. There's one air vent. You can see more of the stitching and wood trim that surrounds the gauge cluster. And then right in the center, we have the 10-inch screen. So there's a lot of information that you can go through within the system. Right now we are on the home screen, so you can see the navigation on the left side along with radio on the right, and we have all of the presets in the lower section. So you can pull up the music, you can go into comfort, where you can adjust the heated and ventilated seats. If I go ahead and turn this on, we can adjust the fan speed right in the center. You have where you'd like the air to go. Along with the heated steering wheel, you can swipe on this bar here if you'd like to adjust the temperature. So it's very easy to go through. If I turn this back on, you can also go into the rear as well. You can go to the navigation and pull that up in full screen. You can also go into vehicle. You can fold the headrests down if you'd like to. And now we can go ahead and pull up the surround view camera. So you'll see right now the top-down view along with the rear-facing camera. And there's a few different angles that you'd like to see along with the forward-facing camera as well. And then we also have a different angle for the rear. So it's really nice to be able to go through all of that. You can also click on Family Cam, and now we can check out the second and third row. Really nice feature to see. You can also zoom in on the passenger seat if you'd like to. So that is really great. You can get a view of your kids in the back seat and what they are up to. That's a really nice feature to see. And then you have a few apps that you can go into. Very easy to go through all this information. I love the display that the screen has. Very crystal clear. And you'll notice there's an air vent on both sides of that. And then just below that, you'll see the gloss black surrounding all of these controls. Over on the left side, we have the drive select. So just by twisting this dial, we can put the vehicle into reverse, of course. You have neutral drive and a low range. And then to the right of that, we have power and volume for the radio. Tuning is over on the right side. And then right in the center, this does have parallel parking. So you can push on this button here to activate that if you'd like to use it. You also have the parking sensors along with the lane keeping assist. There's the engine start stop feature and traction control. And then just below that, we can turn that upper screen off if we'd like to. We have mute for the audio. And then all of the climate controls are just underneath that. So you do have physical buttons for the fan speed right in the center where you'd like the air to go, temperature and everything like that. You'll also notice the electronic parking brake. And then working your way below that, you'll see a DVD slot here for the screens in the rear, which I'll show here soon. We can also open up this compartment and it reveals a few USB and USB-C ports, along with a wireless charging port and a little bit of storage space. You'll see 2 cup holders just behind that. And then there's also a lot of storage underneath this. So this has a floating design to it because you can store a lot more items underneath if you'd like to, which is a great feature to see for your front seat passengers. As we make our way to the center armrest now, you'll see it's covered in leather. We have a 12 volt and some USB ports, along with a good amount of storage space for any items you have to place there. And then working our way to the glove box now, you can see there's a lot of room for all of that information. We'll go ahead and take one last look at these seats. And then up top, as I mentioned, this does have a full moonroof, so we can use these controls up top to go ahead and open up this sunshade. You also have some other controls for the side doors. So if I hold on this button here, we can go ahead and open up that passenger side. And then by pushing on it again, we can go ahead and close it as well. You'll see the dome light switches up here. There's also a spot for sunglasses, and you can adjust the tilt for the sunroof as well. Now that I'm in the back seats of the Chrysler Pacifica, I'm gonna go ahead and close this driver's side door. Just by clicking twice on the key fob, you can do that. You can also do it manually, of course, or there's even a button on the back of the A pillar there if you'd like to push on that to close it. So there are a lot of ways to open and close these doors for your second row here. But as you can tell, I'm in a captain's chair. So we have 2 individual seats for the second row. You can recline these if you'd like to. They slide forwards and backwards, so there's a bar up underneath if you need a little bit more space in front of you or for your third row passengers. And there's quite a lot of amenities for your middle row here. We have these screens that you can flip up. So you saw you can insert a DVD. We also have headphones and a remote along with some auxiliaries. So you can charge your electronics and you can watch whatever you like to play for the second row. There's a slide out tray right in the center for more storage along with 2 cup holders. And we even have the climate controls for your second row. You can adjust the fan speed, the temperature, where you'd like the air to go, everything like that. We also have these Chrysler branded pillows just to add to the comfort for your second or even third row passengers. And the second row is also heated. We have that control over on the door, along with the manual adjusting sunshade that you can put up, of course, if you'd like to block the sun. And now working our way to the third row. In order to do that, there is a handle on the side of the seat. You can pull on that, it'll bring the backrest up and slide the entire second row forward, giving you plenty of room to hop into this third row, where you'll see there's a good amount of space above my head. We also have the sunshade, which is manually adjusting. We can go ahead and close that or open it for the third row, which is really nice to see. And these backrests do incline and recline. I can push on this button here and you'll see we can go all the way back just to give you a little bit more comfort. And the third row passengers even have the sunshade, so you can open and close that if you'd like to. You'll also notice there are cup holders over on the passenger side, and there's even some climate vents up top just to make it more comfortable for your third row passengers. You'll also notice this model has the stow and go vacuum, so you'll see all of that is hidden away on the driver's side, which is really nice to see in a vehicle like this. Now it's time to go ahead and take a look at the rear storage space. So I'm just going to use the button on the lower section of the liftgate. Just by pulling on that, it will automatically open up. And you can see just how much space there is with the third row up. So you can place anything in here that you like to and stack it up if you need to. So that is really cool to see. Over on the driver's side, you can see more of that stow and go for the vacuum. And then over on the passenger side, we have a 12 volt and a few controls that you can use for this third row. So you'll see we have normal, stow, forward, back, and then you can adjust both backrests as well. So just by clicking on the stow, the third row will automatically fold down into the floor, giving you a lot more storage space and a really nice flat surface where you can put any items that you like to. And then you can use the normal button to bring them back up and adjust the backrests if you need to. So it's really nice to see that feature. You can put a lot in this vehicle, which is great to see. And then over on the driver's side, you can push on this button here and that will automatically close up the liftgate. All right, so getting the 2021 Chrysler Pacifica Pinnacle out on the road now. This is actually the second time that I've been behind the wheel of the Pacifica, and I'm blown away with this model. This is basically the top of the line version, and it has everything you could possibly want. And it even has a good amount of power as well. Getting up to the speed limit there, I see no problems with that. Having this packed full of people, you can easily get up to highway speeds, you can merge, there's gonna be no issues like that. But this also has the towing package. So if you wanna put a small trailer, you have some smaller items that you need to haul around, you have the option to do that. So for this minivan and this type of vehicle, it's very versatile all around with being able to not only do that, but you can pack this full of people, you can pack this full of storage, whatever items you have to put in here. And with that third row folded down, you have so much space. So it's really nice to see the versatility of a vehicle like this. And it's very practical too. So if you're hauling around kids every day, you're going from point A to point B, you have a lot of great amenities for them. I think my favorite feature is the fact that we have this camera system to monitor your second and third row without taking your eyes off the road. So you don't have to look over your shoulder. You can glance down at this center screen and see what's going on, which is really nice. If you have kids and you understand that aspect of it, it's probably a really great feature to have, which I love to see. And then you also have the DVD screens, you have heated rear seats. It's just a really nice vehicle to be in. It's incredibly comfortable. You can drive this every single day. You have the built-in vacuum as well, so you can clean up after the kids and you don't have to go searching for another vacuum. You have everything built in, which is really nice to see. But moving on from that, just talking about this interior, it is so premium feeling with these leather seats. We have this screen, as I mentioned earlier, has all the information you saw, very easy to go through. We have a great layout of climate controls and other buttons down below. This even has parallel parking. So if you're driving this through the city, you can use that to help in situations like that. You also have the 3D camera system, as you saw, gives you a lot more visibility. And just talking about the overall visibility while driving this, all of the glass is extremely large, so you can look over your left shoulder, you can look over your right shoulder, and you can see basically around this entire vehicle without that camera system. We also have windows just in front of these side mirrors here to give you even more visibility over both sides in the front, and you can see the end of the hood there, so you know exactly where this vehicle is. So it's really nice to see the amount of visibility for a long vehicle like this. It's very easy to drive too, as I said, very comfortable, and just giving it a little bit of gas here, nothing crazy. We are back up to the speed limits. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive behind the wheel of the 2021 Chrysler Pacifica Pinnacle. Once again, huge shout out to Benson, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. That will be down in the description below. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on our daily uploads. And I'll see you guys in the next video.